What is going on, everybody? It's Civil here, and if you guys have not been living underneath a rock, you've already seen a lot of these gridiron notes, or at least the stream for the Madden NFL 21 gameplay deep dive. But in this video, we're going to talk about three kind of more things that I feel like were overlooked. Now, obviously, everyone knows about the zone drop and everything like that, but some things were definitely overlooked by a lot of people. I want to bring some more light to them. So I have a list of three things right here on my phone. You guys probably can't see that, but it's okay. I'm going to be going over to talk about it. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button for more Madden 21 content like this. The beta is actually coming out. I'm literally downloading the Madden 21 beta as we speak. So if you guys sign up for that, make sure you guys check your emails. It's going to be active throughout this weekend. And I'm going to give some feedback on that tomorrow in the next video. So make sure you guys subscribe and make sure you hit the like button directly to help me in the YouTube algorithm. So let's get into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is going to be the forced defender run Fitz. And this is something where I think people saw it, people liked it, but didn't really think a whole lot into it. And I kind of want to break it down a little bit deeper than what they initially said. Okay, so let's check it out right here. And defensive contain balancing. So they talk about right here, one of the most popular online strategy was contain blitz. You know, this is talking about contains. But, so we see it says here, simply put, you know, the running game in Madden 20 was too difficult to stop. Obviously, we all know this. And it talks about how forced defenders will be taking these wider angles. And that's immediately very, very good. You know, they're naturally going to widen out, it sounds like, depending on formation, which is great. So usually, you know, in 3-4 odd, it's either going to be those outside linebackers, the corners in cover 2. So hopefully the corners in cover 2, when they're the forced defender, they'll be crashing down harder, be able to really set the edge. But really, the biggest thing that I immediately thought when I heard this was, I think we've all played people, especially, I feel like it wasn't, inside zone was really, really prevalent in past Maddens. This Madden, I feel like it wasn't nearly as prevalent or as bad as it was because everyone just ran under center. But it sounds like this is going to make people who want to spam the runs like inside zone, out of like tight offset tight end, or some other inside zones, and you've all seen it where someone spams it and just immediately runs outside, right? They just immediately, you know, screw the hole, screw whatever, they just turn this outside. It sounds like this is going to stop that as well, which is actually really, really, really cool, because obviously you guys have already, you know, thought about this and stopping stretch. But it's going to do a really, really good job of stopping inside zones, I think, too, because these defenders are going to be forcing back inside, which means it's going to take more stick work, which is the biggest thing. It's going to take more stick work, guys, to be able to actually get these runs, which is going to improve the skill gap a lot. Another thing, it sounds like, now mind you, this is all on paper, it sounds like people are not going to be able to take dives and cut them all the way outside. That's something that we've seen in the past few years. It's, you know, it's a very, very, very big thing. People will take a dive and they'll immediately cut outside, and because it's an inside run, all your defenders immediately just collapse inside. That sounds like it's not going to be a thing, where it sounds like the outside contains are going to do a good job of setting that edge hard. And what I'm hoping to see here is that you'll be able to see a real difference in ratings when it comes to outside forced defenders, where if you have a Khalil Mack setting the edge, he's going to do a much better job than someone who's lower rated. And that's why I'm really, really expecting to see when it comes to this. I don't know for sure if that's going to be the case, but that's immediately what I'm thinking. And I think that's really, really huge, because obviously we all thought about the fact that, yes, it's going to do a better job of stopping stretch, but it's going to do a really, really good job of stopping inside zones too, or at least make it more skillful, and dives, which is also, you know, something it's good. It's good that they added something like that, okay? The next thing I want to talk about, and let's get into, yes, I just want to make sure, I didn't want to end up, you know, being wrong about what I was going to say. Kicking game tuning, and don't blow me off, okay? Do not just click off this video. Listen to me here, because this is interesting. I don't know if this is actually a good thing or a bad thing. Kick meter on competitive game style will be tuned to be more skill-based, meaning it'll be more difficult to get accurate kicks for competitive play, and missing the accuracy window will be slightly more punitive. So, basically, what they're saying is that obviously it's going to be harder. My questions when it comes to this is very, very simple. We have all played in games that are very, very laggy, that we have bad button delay. This scares me, because if it's harder naturally with no delay to get a perfect kick, I'm afraid that it's going to be extremely hard with bad delay, bad any kind of button lag, button delay, anything like that, to be able to get perfect kicks. And quite honestly, that's not a really good thing. Kicking, I think, is it's probably too easy right now, honestly, to be able to nail a 60-yarder when there's no delay. But the issue is that there is a good amount of delay. There really is. There is a solid amount of delay in a lot of these online games, especially as the years went on. It's gotten a lot worse, and so that is scary. That is kind of scary. Another thing with this one is that we tuned ball physics to bring more skid to the ball and kicks bouncing on the turf, to make the coffin corner kickoff exploits, known as a scum kick, much more difficult to execute. And we've all seen what the skim kick is. You kick it to the corner, it bounces, your player recovers it, and he either rolls out of bounds at the 2, at the 1, or sometimes even a safety, and that's super, super frustrating. So it sounds like they just added literally more skid to it. So think about like skipping a rock. Really, that's the best way I can think of it. And that's actually a really, really, really good change. I'm super happy about that. No, that's good. But the kicking on competitive game style, that I don't know, because yes, without any delay, if there's no delay, no lag, no nothing, yes, that is a very, very good change. I'm all for it. But the issue is, especially this year where all things are going to be online, it sounds like. That's not fact, but it sounds like a lot of especially the beginning tournaments are going to be online just from the state of what's going on. That might prove an issue when you're East Coast playing against one of the West Coast and vice versa. And it sounds like getting host is going to be very, very, very important. So that's something that's going to be really, really, really frustrating. The next thing I want to talk about is going to be tackle radiuses. And we see this right here. Yes. So in addition to the upgrades on our run fit system, we know how important tackling is to run defense as well, obviously. We didn't just add new breakdown to the pylon tackle, we also made some of the core movements to existing tackle more accessible and stronger. So this is one thing. So think about like Reach Elite, for example, when you're engaged in a block and you're still able to get sucked into a tackle animation. It sounds like getting sucked into tackles while running next to people who are blocked will be a little bit more prevalent this year. Which for me, I don't really care a whole lot. I do think that's not the best way to stop the run. I don't want that to be the way we have to, that to be a crutch to stop the run. But instead, hit sticks and dive tackles have been tuned to make them more accessible and functional, all of which come together with our new breakdown tackle for more intuitive defensive experience. This is really good. What this sounds like right here is that dive tackles are back, so you're going to be able to actually catch people from behind a lot easier. And it sounds like hit sticks are going to be a little bit more like a wider radius on them, which is also a very, very, very good thing. Because the radius right now on tackling is it's just so small that people are literally rubbing shoulders with you a lot of the times. Another thing to talk about on that, and I believe it is in here somewhere. I thought it was. I could be totally wrong. I might be totally tripping. I'm not cutting this part out in the video either. Let's see here. Defenders will have better anticipation of ball carriers' movement by taking smarter angles while and after block shedding. This is very, very huge. Now, in the gameplay videos that we've seen, this is not proven yet. This will be something that we're going to be able to test in the beta. I will have a video talking about this tomorrow. As long as it does not go against any of EA's guidelines at some point, for some reason, somehow, some way, I will be having a video talking about this tomorrow. No gameplay shown, but it will be talking about a lot of these things. So that's obviously a very, very, very good thing. That right there, like, that's good because we've all seen, just defenders take terrible, awful pursuits. And that's another big reason why the run game is so good. That's another huge, huge, huge thing. This is a interesting thing right here where they talk about these are tackles you'll see running back reach up the ball for the pylon at the last second to get that critical touchdown. And my understanding is that this will be ability based, where running backs with certain abilities or wide receivers or any ball carriers with certain abilities will reach out for the pylon or for the first down. I believe that is ability based from what I know at this point. Once again, we'll have more information literally later tonight about that, but I'm not totally sure. That these tackling interactions make our players more aware of their field location and react accordingly. Like I said, I believe they'll be driven by player ratings and superstar abilities. So I'm curious what player ratings, how big of a factor player ratings will have in this. And I'm also curious if a ball carrier is stretching for that touchdown, stretching for the pylon, if he has a bigger chance at fumbling the ball. I don't know. That's a genuine question I have right now. I really could not tell you. I don't know. I would have to assume there's some kind of penalty for that, unless it's a very consistent thing, because the biggest issue I can think right off the bat is that me and him have the same player. We're using Chiefs on Chiefs and LaShawn McCoy. I'm at the 1 yard line, and my LaShawn McCoy doesn't reach for the pylon, so I get stuffed, but he's at the 1 yard line, and his does reach for the pylon, and he gets a touchdown. That just adds a little bit more randomness and RNG into the game. We don't want that. But really, that's going to be 3 main things that I was talking about where I feel like got kind of overlooked in a lot of what these gameplay deep dives talked about, these videos. So I felt like it was a very, very good video to add today. With that being said, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I'll be doing a breakdown of the beta tomorrow, and if I have any codes to be given away, make sure you guys check out my Twitter. I'll be doing that there. Links in the description below. If you want to watch me play live, make sure you check out my Twitch. I will be live literally as this video drops, most likely, or within a few minutes of it. So make sure you check that out in the link description below as well. Mr. Civ at twitch.tv. And I'll see you guys all in the next video.